Hello, good morning po sa inyong lahat. Magandang umaga. Welcome to the first broadcast for the GEG Apac weekend. I hope that a lot of you are here because we have such an interesting lineup for this morning. And really, to this morning, we're going to be joined by two of the very institutional sila sa GEG. Will be joined by JD Mercado and Adrian Cruz, and we'll be talking about what GEGs are. So without further ado, let me just bring them up so that they can talk to and introduce themselves and speak to all of you. So first up, of course, is our GEG mentor, one of the three in the Asia Pacific. Please welcome Mr. JD Mercado. Hi, JD. Why don't you tell them about yourself a little?
Hi, Maan. Thank you so much. Good morning po, GEG APAC friends or mga Filipino teachers, educators we have in the YouTube live. So my name is JD Mercado and I am one of the GEG mentors in Asia Pacific. Tama si Miss Maan, tatlo kami sa Asia Pacific and swerte ang Philippines kasi dun sa tatlong yon dalawa ay from the Philippines. So, well, dapat naman talaga because the GEG program originated here in our country.
Oh, that's so interesting. I hope to hear a little bit more about that, no, and how the Philippines was the first GEG in Asia, no. And let's welcome first our second speaker, of course, GEG Emeritus, Adrian Cruz. Hi, Adrian.
Hi, good morning po sa inyong lahat. Welcome po, no? So, I am Adrian Cruz. I am an EdTech coach, Google certified trainer and innovator, and then used to be Google Educator Group leader for South Manila. And then recently, naging GEG Emeritus because few years, well, parang almost 2 years ago, I decided to put up my training company. So that's why naging emeritus po ang aking status. So being able to lead then other GEG potential leaders and members. Good
See,
morning
that's
po.
what good morning to everyone then. So thank you, JD and Adrian, for joining me in the first broadcast, no? And really, this broadcast is dedicated to, helping teachers maintindihan kung ano ba yung GEGs. Kasi parang kung katulad nila ako na na-discover ko yung GEGs very late into the game. Kasi sa totoo lang, nag-start ako parang November, no? Nung naging member ako, naging GEG leader ako ng Ortigas. Nayaya ako ni Pao at ni Gary. Good morning, by the way, to my fellow GEG Ortigas leaders. But really, parang ang dami kong natutunan in the span of those few months. So I think that a lot of teachers will benefit into knowing kung ano nga ba ang GEGs. So siguro we can start with what is the GEG program? Tapos siguro konting kwento kung paano kayo napunta dyan. Siguro ang best mag-answer nito is our mentor, GT.
Right, ayan. Nakakatuwa si Miss Maan, no? Sabi niya November pa lang siya, pero parang isa na din siya sa talagang foundation ng GEG here in the Philippines. And looking forward for you to further have opportunities to help our fellow teachers through the GEG program. So, ayun. So, siguro I'm going to first describe what GEG is by saying it's Google definition or the way it was defined by Google. So Google Educator Groups are independently run communities of educators who inspire and empower each other to meet the needs of students through technology, both in the classroom and beyond. So, yes, you have heard it right. We are independent from Google. We are not employees of Google. Google doesn't compensate us to do this. We do this voluntarily because we believe that by doing this, we get to inspire and empower our students, our learners, and of course their teachers, no, to effectively provide impact to their learning process. Yes, tama po. Parang ever since that the GEG program have been conceptualized, nandun po kami, no? Isa po kami sa mga kumbaga talagang nanguna back in 2013 sa GEG program. Nagsimula po ito sa Google Teachers Workshop na inorganize po mismo ni Google back in 2013, 2014 at umabot pa siya ng 2015. So the Google Teachers Workshop or GTW is a program where we went to all the regions in the Philippines to introduce the Google tools, Google for Education tools. And kapag nanggagaling kami doon sa mga cities na yon around the Philippines, we encourage them to build a community of teachers so that after ng training namin, meron silang continuity. At yun na nga yung GEG. Ayun. Other Googlers saw it as a wonderful program, kaya nagkaroon na rin in other countries. At the first GEG in the whole world is GEG Baguio.
What?
Kasi that's the first city or place where we run the Google Teachers Workshop or GTW. Ayun. So, and the rest is history. Ang dami ng GEG. Nagkaroon na ng iba't ibang roles in the program like GEG Mentor, GEG Emeritus, Leader, Captains, Members. And ang saya lang because we have grown, no? Maraming mga trainer na nagsimula sa GEG, maraming mga innovators na nagsimula muna as a GEG. So parang GEG is home. No, so GEG feels like home. Parang you start with GEG and be ready to be exposed to a lot of opportunities.
You know, JD, that's right. Kasi as I said, no, I joined lang noong November. Tapos sobrang bilis nung paglaki ng network ko, ng personal learning network ko. So all of the sudden, I have friends that I've never met, really, like JD and Ian and I have never met face to face, pero we've talked about so many things, especially in the status of education and where it is that we can take it. But also, if you're part of the Apac, when you start exposing yourself to the Asia Pacific cohorts of the different GEGs in the different countries, mas madami pa kayong matututunan. Parang yung paghahanda natin for distance learning, ang sagot nandoon. Pwede kayong magtanong, meron silang isasagot sa inyo. Sobrang nakakatuwa na ang helpful nila with one another.
Exactly.
Oo. So siguro we can go into what the benefits are of the program. So for example, Ian, what made you stay? What benefits did you see?
Well, actually, just to continue also what JD said about Google Educator Groups, ako naman, I met them in one of the trainings of Google. I think that was in Mandaluyong about computational thinking. And then I saw the innovators, the first innovators in the Philippines. So they were there, even Sir Gary and the others. I was so inspired. That was 2014. Back then, Google was quite new when it comes to using it in the education because we know Google search engine, about Gmail, Drive, that's it. But the advancement of technology to integrating to schools are, at that point, medyo hindi pa ganun ka-clear compare now. So that time, I was really curious, how can I learn more? How can we, is there any formal organization that I can hook up my school to so that we can be more productive and, to adapt to, 21st century. So ganun yung thinking ko. And then, nagkataon naman at that event, ang natanungan ko was one of the Googlers. And then also si Sir Gary din yung sa akin noon nag-introduce pa ng GEG, and then I think that was a couple of weeks later, and then that's why na-involved na rin ako sa Google Educator Group. So I think that was the year or months after na nagkaroon pa ng ibang mga cities. So parang nagkaroon ng option na choose a city. So if you want to become a leader, choose a city where you want to, to lead. So that time I was so, fascinated about Google. Paano ko pa to pwede magamit and how I can further influence. But one of the questions na nung tinanggap ko yung leadership for GEG was, bakit mo ginagawa yan? Are you
Mm.
paid? Sabi ni Sir JD, hindi siya, we're not, kumbaga, we're not googlers here, but we are volunteers who would
Mhm.
want to hopefully inspire teachers to innovate. So yun yung mga ganong questions, hindi natatanggap ko din. Why are you doing it? Are you being paid? Pero what we do, we schedule regular meetings, and back then they were all face to face, no? They were all
Mm.
setting up an actual training event at some schools, no? And then you would also introduce yourself as this community to a
Mhm.
school. Maybe you would like to hear what Google Educator Group can do for your school. So way back, no, ang hirap i-introduce ni GEG because back then it was really new, no? So yung ano, siguro matatawag natin na ano, birth pains ng mga GEG is that yung interest ng mga teachers medyo natagalan bago namin na break yung wall when it comes to traditional teaching and then introducing new ways of teaching now. So the benefits of this, napakadami. Kasi ako personally, it molded me as an educator, not just an educator, but also as a trainer for other teachers. So, napakadaming benefits ito. It actually prepared me to a kind of work na hindi ko din ine-expect. And also with the responsibilities as well. Sabi nga nila, when it comes to GG, minsan hindi mo mapaghahandaan yung bagay na maibibigay sa'yo, pero nandyan na eh. Because people would also look up to you na, okay, this is what we may learn with JD, for example, or Gary or Adrian. So, ano siya eh, when you listen, lalo na ngayon, mas malaki yung stage ng GEG because everything's on webinar already. Pero when you get to like watch every webinar, may mapipick up ka talaga. So hindi talaga siya hindi siya sayang because at some point you'll be getting key points, strategies for teaching. So yun yung aking
Oh, I can
take.
only agree and resonate with that, no? Ian, I know for a fact, for example, sobrang calm nung approach ko with distance learning because I was in a GEG. So, ang dami ko na pagtatanungan on the things that can happen. And teachers, that's something that you might be able to experience also when you join a GEG. Now, I think our panelists actually prepared a short video for you to see so that it could
Right.
explain what GEGs are for.
Well,
Go ahead, GD.
actually, ang video na 'to ay gawa ni Adrian because we want to share lang that for the past 10 years of the GEG program, talagang ang Philippines ay hindi naman nagpahuli among all the countries, and buhay na buhay pa rin ang GEG spirit in the Philippines, no? Lalong-lalo na sa Asia Pacific. So just to give our viewers parang a glimpse of our journey for the past 10 years, we would like to invite you to watch this 2-minute video for you to see the GEG journey in the Philippines. Ayan. Nice. Thank you, Adrian, for that video.
Oo, nakakatuwa. So many familiar faces. Ang babata niyo pa doon.
Pinalaki kami ng
Oo.
Google Incubator Group.
At dahil sa video na I just want to say hello to Miss Eileen Apollo. Miss Eileen, sana please get well soon. I know that you are trying to get yourself better. There. Anyway, so JD, you wanted to add also for the benefits of being in a GEG. I know you wanted to do that. Go ahead.
Well, ang daming benefits, no? So, number one, you get to work with like-minded people. Alam mo yung feeling na parang gusto mong maka-work yung mga taong meron kayong same advocacy, same wavelength, and same passion for education. And then nung pag na-meet mo na sila, parang hindi mo na kailangan pa ng, like tayo, Miss Maa, did we ever talk about, diba, ourselves?
No.
Parang we just work with each other and parang work na tayo ng matagal, no? Parang ganon, no? That's number one, no? So work with like-minded people. And second, opportunities for professional development, professional growth, no? When you become a GEG mentor, you get exposed to a lot of opportunities, like you become GC level 1, level 2, tapos magiging trainer ka na, tapos magiging innovator ka na. One example is si Franco of GEG San Juan. That he was asking me to have GEG in his area, which is San Juan. And nung simula na nag-start na siya, na ayun, tuloy-tuloy na, GCE level 1, level 2, trainer, innovator, and he is the first GEG coach in the Philippines, no? So, kumpleto niya na yung mga certifications ni Google. So, you know, the growth that GEG will bring you, talagang ikaw na lang yung magsasawa, ikaw na lang yung titigil na parang hindi ko na kaya yata. Parang ganon. What else? Siyempre yung pangatlo, yung impact nito sa teaching process mo. Kasi para kang pumunta sa isang event, tapos lahat ng mga natutunan mo sa event na yon, o lahat ng mga swags na pinika po sa table, dadali mo sa bahay at doon mo siya i-apply. So parang ganun, yung impact mo sa sarili mo at doon sa mga co-teachers mo at doon sa yung mga learners, yun talagang pinaka-importanting benefit of being a member ng GEG.
I can attest to that, really. Talagang madami kayo matututunan once you start being members of a GEG. And really, it's totoo, napaka-empowering ng being in a room or in a meet, in a Google Meet kasi lahat naman tayo online na. And wherein everyone just wants to share and help one another. Sobrang nakakatuwa yung feeling na yon. I think that's the feeling that I get whenever I interact with GEG members or other GEG leaders. All right. So siguro what I can ask you now is, so how can teachers join a GEG? Yeah.
Sige, mauna na ako on that one. So, for a teacher to be able to join, no? Kasi ang dami nagtatanong, kailangan ba Google certified ako para makasali? So, hindi po. As long as you are interested, very much willing to learn, definitely, welcome po kayo sa bawat GEG communities na malapit sa inyo. But since we're doing it online, no, you can join any GEGs. For example, here in the Philippines, if you want to watch or participate or be part of the group page in certain cities, for example, meron tayong GEG Ortigas page, GEG South Manila, Mandaluyong, and we also have yung GEG Philippines. As a whole, you can join that kasi napakadaming pwede nyong makita, lalo na po sa mga ibang GEG members and leaders na tuloy-tuloy na nagpo-post and nagbibigay ng mga updates. So doon pa lang, by just joining through our social media platforms, I'm not sure for the others kung meron pa maliban sa Facebook, no, na mga pages. But other than that, when you join specific GEGs, kung saan malapit kayo sa for example, a GEG city, for example, GEG Mandaluyong, no, for example, you get to join, you get to also participate in their meetings. So, lagi namang may mga meetings ang GEGs. Dahil kahit online, we are still trying to come up with more training programs online nga lang, no? Sa ngayon, online lamang, pero napaka daling gawin ngayon because again, we just go to the links no available. So, ang maganda din dito, you get to meet also yung ating mga members. You get to interact with them, and yun nga, if you have questions regarding some of your concerns, then napaka-generous po ng mga tao sa GEG. So,
siguro if you want to find out if there's a GEG, no, a local GEG for you, we placed the link to the website of GEG Asia in the chat box in the comment section so that you can click on that link and you will find there all the GEGs in the Philippines. So, pwede kayong mag-connect kung meron kayo near your local area. You can just reach out to them. Yan. So I think at this point, what I'd like to do is to just really show you the opportunities to learn for this particular weekend. Again, like all nasabi na ni JD tsaka ni Adrian, no, all the people who are presenting, they are volunteers, no, either GEG members or GEG leaders who want to help at this particular time and continuously have been helping, no, regardless of the times. I think that there's a lot to learn this weekend. Of course, our first session is the GEG Apac Kickoff with JD and Adrian. Later on, we will have a session with Mary Marzano, who's the education lead of the Philippines. Mary is also an innovator and a trainer, and she's now a Googler, so I know she's in the chat box somewhere. I saw her comment earlier. And what's going to happen, she's going to tell us a lot of the things that are happening for Google Workspace in education. So join us there at 9 o'clock. At 10. And then later on in Franco's channel, he will be talking about how to integrate maayos at epektibo sa napakatagalog ni Franco. Integrasyon ng teknolohiya sa edukasyon gamit ang Google Workspace for Education Tools. Si Franco, sobrang palagi ko siyang ini-encourage to continue what he's doing kasi talagang sobrang gusto niyang makatulong sa as many teachers as possible. So, hi Franco, I know you're preparing. I just got your message. Okay, and then Adrian will be talking about how to learn the Google way. So he's from Bataan. So he'll be talking about a priority project that they had there. It could be interesting kasi pwede nyo siyang gayahin maybe in your schools. Tapos later on, we'll be talking about code. Yeah, matagal na namin pinag-uusapan na gusto niya mag-present about coding. So she'll be talking about kung what coding can do and if you can do it for whatever grade levels it is that you teach. And then later on in the day, Jeffrey will be talking about Meet. I know Jeffrey's also in the chat box. I saw him say hello earlier. Engineer Joel will be talking about how you can collaborate anywhere with Google Tools. And really, a lot of us naman are very impressed by the fact that we can be anywhere and still be able to collaborate. So those are the sessions for today. Now, if you want to check out the rest of the sessions, kasi we're kind of pressed for time now, please go to the GEG Asia Pacific link and click on the Filipino schedule. And you will find there the schedule where you can see all of the talks that are happening all throughout the week. I know Adrian is giving a talk later Saturday, right, Adrian?
yes.
You want to tell us about that presentation a little?
I'll be discussing all about Google Earth. So I think this is one of the siguro advanced Google Workspace tools na hindi masyadong napapansin ng mga teachers. But if you want to, introduce or give another flavor to your teaching or in your lessons, whether for synchronous or asynchronous, you can use that. So that's Google Earth. Catch me tomorrow. So that's 5 p.m. No, I'll be teaching everybody how to use Google Earth, how to best use for their classroom lessons.
So that will be great. I was telling Adrian when my trainer video, my audition for the trainer video was actually about Google Earth and how you can use it to go to field trips. And I told him I used the different shrines of Jose Rizal because we really wanted it to be as Filipino as possible. So going to the different shrines in the Philippines, like you don't have to. So there's lots of possibilities, with all the Google tools. So catch Adrian in that session tomorrow at 6. I'm sure may matututunan kayo. I was telling Adrian also for his talk last December, yung isang teacher ko sobrang fan niya kasi sobrang mobile editing. Sobrang ang dami na niyang nagagawang videos ngayon. So,
Fan din ako ni Adrian. Fan din niya ako, to be honest.
Diba? Kung ano-anong ginagawa niya.
Oo.
Nagiging si Yoda siya, nagiging kung ano-ano siya. So, sobrang sobrang interesting for me. Anyway, so those are just some of the things that you can learn. Again, please check out the site. Doon din po sa site, you will see that ang daming ibang languages. So if you speak other languages and want to practice, pwedeng doon kayo manood kasi ang dami ding offerings. I'm also the English language lead for this run. So I want to promote also a lot of the English language sessions. Kunwari this morning, 6:30 Japan time, there was a group of innovators who talked about their innovator journey. So if you're interested to apply for the VIA, which is open for the Asia Pacific for this run only, baka you want to catch that kahit late session na kasi that was 6:30 a.m. there, so 7:30 kaninang umaga here. You just have to look at the time zones and be careful about it. So there. So siguro just a way of closing, maybe some last words from both JD and Adrian. Go ahead.
Ayan, siguro I'll go ahead, Adrian. For our viewers, if you want to become a GEG leader, we will have public orientation on August 7, 2021 and October 2, 2021. So that's the only public orientation that we're going to conduct this year. So lahat ng mga gustong maging leader at magkaroon ng GEG sa kanilang area, please attend those sessions. Thank you, Miss Maan, for the things that you do for our community. Thank you very much.
Salamat din po. Always happy to help. Yes, Adrian. Anything else? Last words from
Ako
you?
naman, kung bago pa lang sa GEG at gustong silipin, feel free to explore, napakadaming content for this weekend. Enjoy Filipino content, English content, pwede nyo rin i-check. And, ayun, just fuel yourself with your curiosity. Don't be scared magtanong. So, the GEG leaders and members around can just answer your questions. So anyone from us, kapag nakita yung message nyo, will just respond and, reply to your conference. But for now, let's enjoy the weekend of learning. So, ayan.
Yeah, and thank you very much, JD and Adrian. Kasi you really were established this particular opportunities for everyone. Kung wala kayo, hindi ako makasali kahit anong GEG, di ba? So I'm very thankful that I found this community of really like-minded individuals. Sobrang encouraging siya. And for the rest of us, so I hope you can join us for the rest of this weekend. In the chat box, you will find a link to the evaluation form, particularly for this session. We do that so that we can get your information also, and also we can invite you to other events. But also, because for this particular LAN, Mary Marzano, so Mary, thank you once again, has kindly allowed us to raffle off vouchers for the GCE Level 1 certification test. So if you are interested in becoming a Google Certified Educator, Level 1, and sayang naman kasi sign up, diba? Funds pa rin yun. So what you want to do is to just please fill in the evaluation form. It has a form limiter, so it will stop getting responses, I think, after 30 minutes or so. So please make sure you do that right after this talk. And then if you're asking if we're giving out certificates, we are. You just have to give us a couple of days kasi minsan libo-libo po kayo. So kailangan namin ng konting time in order for us to email out the certificates. Kasi even if we automate it, the add-on we'll have to limit it to a particular number of days. Yon, we're just letting you know. Para hindi po kayo madismaya kung hindi nyo makuha agad. Yan, konting patience lang po. So please fill in the evaluation form. Each session will have an evaluation form for you to fill, and it will close at a particular time. So please do so immediately. And so once again, I'd like to invite everyone to join us in the different talks this weekend, and know that the links po will stay live in YouTube. So if na-miss nyo siya, or let's say may meeting kayo kasi Friday, it's a work day, pwede nyo siyang balikan later on when you have more time. Yun naman ang advantage of streaming to YouTube. And that's it for this morning. Once again, thank you, JD, and thank you, Adrian. And to everyone who's watching around the Philippines or maybe around the world, thank you very much for joining us in this kickoff. I'll see you at 10 a.m. with Mary Marzano, who's will talking about a lot of the things that are going to be happening in the Google Workspace for Education. Thank you. Have a good one.